Here with reactions, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, I say now that we know that we have hundreds of people with terror ties in the country, that, and I don't think I'm wrong, but I pray that I am, that it's when, not if, this country has 9/11 2.0. Right.
Yeah, I've never seen conditions more ripe for another 9/11. You got the world on fire, the collapse of Afghanistan 3 years ago. Yesterday, 13 brave Americans were killed. Kamala Harris, the last person in the room before Biden decided to pull all the troops out. The rest is history. So let me just say this about California. You're throwing gasoline on an illegal immigrant fire. The more benefits you give illegals, the more illegals you're going to get. Healthcare, education, now housing. I think what California is doing is wrong at many levels, and if they ever pass this law, I will lead an effort to restrict federal funds to California because they should be punished for doing this. If Kamala Harris really wants to build the wall, you had 4 years to build this wall. 70 days before election, all of a sudden you want a wall. I'll make an offer to the vice president. Send me over your wall proposal. I'll get you all the money you need if it's a real proposal.
Oh, it's not going to be a real proposal, but you have access to intelligence that I don't. And I've got to imagine when I hear the FBI director go to Congress 5 separate times and say it's never been this bad. I'm not that fond of the work of the FBI right now. However, I'm taking that seriously.
Yeah, he said, wherever I look, I see blinking lights. That was the question I asked him. Before 9/11, there were blinking lights everywhere. So I asked the FBI director, do you see any blinking lights now? And he said, wherever I look, I see blinking lights. I've never seen this many threats all at once. We have a record number of people coming into our country on the terrorist watch list. We have an organization started by ISIS in Central and South America to get people into our country. ISIS is now in the illegal immigrant business. So it's just a matter of time until our luck runs out. I am hoping and praying that President Trump wins to bring sanity to this chaos at our border. And this idea that California would offer low-interest loans to legal immigrants is literally insane. The more benefits you put on the table, the more people you will get. It's one thing to come here for economic reasons. They're ruining our economy. It's another thing to come here to blow us all up. It's just a matter of time unless we change policy abroad and here at home, we get hit again.
Looks like there are 7 states, once again, that matter. Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada. How do you see those states going?
Well, I worry about North Carolina. We've got to make sure we shore up North Carolina. President Trump won there twice, and I think he'll win again. If we win all the states he won in 2020, and we pick up Georgia, we're knocking on the door. The road to 270 electoral votes for Republicans runs through the state of Georgia. Governor Kemp is on board fully. He and the First Lady are helping President Trump. He has a marvelous ground game, political operation, Governor Kemp does. He's going to put it into play for President Trump and all Republicans in Georgia. I'll make a prediction here tonight. I have never been more enthusiastic about us winning Georgia than I am right now. Georgia's there for the taking. Trump is going to win Georgia, then on to Pennsylvania.
And North Carolina in the mix, and then I'm kind of optimistic about our odds in Arizona
excited.
And Nevada. Yeah.
If you're living in Arizona, you've been overwhelmed by illegal immigrants for the last 4 years. When you ask people in Arizona, who do you trust to fix a broken immigration system, it's Trump +9. To the people in Arizona, do you really believe she's going to build a wall? That's just bullshit. She's had 4 years to build a wall, and she's done nothing. For the last 4 years, they've turned every Trump policy upside down that prevented illegal immigration, and we're being overrun with 10 million people. They're not going to do anything to fix America's problems. If you're looking for her to get this nation back on track, you're looking to the wrong person. The truth lies in their record. Their record is horrible, is terrible. 4 years of Trump, this was a safe country, a prosperous country, and a safe world. 4 years of Harris and Biden, the world is on fire, inflation is through the roof, and the border is broken, and we're risking another 9/11.
I think this election is simple. Make sure every American knows about her radicalism, extremism, how dangerous she is, and everybody know what Trump's solutions are. I wouldn't talk about anything else.
Yeah.
We have 10 seconds.
Amen. Watch Hannity.
You agree?
You'll learn
Amen.
a lot.
Okay. All right, Senator Graham, we appreciate you being with us. More Hannity straight ahead.